Hello, welcome to Reverse Media, and today I will show you how I created an amazing Chinese Guzheng sample and turned it into a great whole beat. As you can see the poster of the cover art of my beat, Perseverance. It's available on all stream platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. So let's just dive into it. So here is my project file, and let me just show you the sample which is freely available. You can download this sample from my website www.reversemedia.com. It's freely available. I will put the link in the description. So let me just show you how I created a sample of using of Chinese music. Let me just show you. So this is a sample, and you can just use this sample. It's an amazing sample which I've created. So you can download this sample file. It is called Unique. You can just check it out. Link in the description. reversemedia.com. Really available. So how I created this sample? So there's a plugin called Queen RV. As you can see this on my screen. This plugin is freely available. I will put the link in the description from where you can download this. And beside this plugin, this VST, you have to download the other patches for the instrument. So I have already downloaded Chinese Guzheng patch in it, and I have loaded this patch, and using this I have created this beautiful sounding Chinese Guzheng, and it sounds very close to the real Chinese Guzheng. Not, you cannot say that it's real, the sense that there's no person playing, but the sound and the texture is very close to the real instrument. So after loading this patch, you can see there are various modes, like there is various ways to play this Chinese Guzheng. So they have made these modes. You can select one of these modes and you can do various things. Like it's a very versatile VST. Like you can add tremolo to it. You can even add legato and pitch bending things. So all these things are available. So for this sample I have selected this preset called VIV Shake 1. So let me just show you how it sounds. Can you see the tremolo in it? The tremolo. So in real instrument, they are using pointed things they wear around fingers, and using that they just move their hand fast to make you feel sustain, or it's called tremolo in technical terms. So this sample which I created is in A minor. So the melody line is like this. Something like this. And after creating this main melody line, I added tremolo in between by creating a different layer of it. So you can just, in FL Studio, it's very easy. Load this plugin. Just select clone. So it will again open the same VST in the other rack, channel rack. So you have to just play one I created one melody line over it and add tremolo and other effects over it. So after I created this sample, you can see if I remove other effects on this sample, let me just show you. I have added various effects to feel more reverb, more flavor, more vibrant. So I had used this fruity parameter EQ2 to just cut off some of the low ends. So let me just remove these effects and show you how I managed this beautiful Chinese Guzheng to feel more close to the real instrument, like live playing. It's kind of feel like very live playing, like orchestral feel to it. So if I remove all the effects, the sample sounds like this. Sound is quite low, like it's really back in my head. So first of all, I thought I should remove some of the low end so that other instruments like the drum or the bass just does not like mix with the or does not interfere with the low end instruments in the beat. So first I use Fruity Parametric EQ2. It's a stock plugin in Apple Studio and it's a very good plugin. So I removed some of the low ends and focus more on the high frequencies of this instrument. So if I play the sample without it and with it, it sounds like this. With the plugin, and then I added this plugin, which is like everybody make fun of it. This plugin is called Soundgoodizer, and this is a stock plugin. And one thing is important, like it has no other things. Like there are some 4 presets, and you select one of them. You just like you can see this knob, and you can just up and down so that you can uh, control the input to the channel to the mixer. So I use the A preset, and generally I use this plugin like when I'm like creating like orchestral like strings, using strings like to make feel more open sounding, more stereo. So this plugin is like it's very limited, but it does the job of giving you the feel of orchestral vibe, getting you the feel of like cinematic, I can say. So after adding this plugin, the sample sounds like this. And the next plugin which I added is Fruity Stereo Shaper. This is a stock plugin and it helps you to create stereo effect on your sample, stereo effect on any instrument, any VST you have put it. So using this, I created the space, like I spread it out to all like from right to left in a certain way that it doesn't interfere with other instruments and create a whole vibe, like whole spectrum, creating like it makes you feel like everything is filled in the whole spectrum. So after putting this plugin, the sample sounds like this. So what the first things comes always in my mind, like I just don't start with like creating the introduction part. First I try to like put things over it, try to figure out what should be the pattern for the drums and the kicks, how should it, like how main structure, main things like the kick and the bass and the hi-hats. So first I created this hi-hat pattern over my sample. So as you can see, this hi-hat pattern is not so complex. Yeah, it had some various things, like some little things which makes it like feel very rhythmic, you can say. So let me just play you this pattern. As you can see that the velocity is here, it's not the constant velocities. So how, because why I put these velocities in this way, the thing is like to add more human touch to it, because when like you are playing piano or any instrument, the notes you are hitting, it's not always in the same velocity. Like if I put if you can see on the screen, if I put hi-hats, the system automatically plays it on a constant same velocities. So to add little bit variation, what you can do, the easiest way is, what I prefer is like you just create your pattern, and after like you have created this pattern, select all the nodes and press Alt R. So this is a randomizer which is like available on FL Studio. And what you can do, like if you have selected this levels, this levels option, you can see, so there is a velocity knob, and you just move it up and down and see what sounds best for you, and select that velocity level, so it automatically randomizes the velocity levels. You can even also pan. So in this way I generally create my patterns, hi-hat patterns, and after that I added a little bit of here and there just to give a bounce to it. So this is how I created the hi-hat pattern for it. So after this, when I created the hi-hat patterns, I thought that there should be the beat should be like, in the beginning there should be in the introduction, like the introduction to the beat, it should be feel like very cinematic, and there should be a cinematic entry, and the sample introduces, and after that slowly everything kick and the 808s come. So after creating this hi-hat pattern, I got an idea that how should I like create the introduction. So let me just show you the introduction of this beat. So this how I created this introduction. So what I did, like I thought let's just reverse this sample. So in the beginning you can see I have used the same sample, and I just reversed this part of it. It's the same sample with reverse effect on it. And I repeated it, and like for the chain, like in beats you don't want that the, like even you are creating epic beats like cinematic beats type, so you don't want the introduction to be long, so long, because people will get bored. So you want to catch the attraction of the people. So I reversed this sample, and like I pitched it down all the way to the down to the lower octave, and in the second part of it, what I did, I used the sample, the same reverse sample, and pitched it up. So when you play these samples together, it sounds like this. So in the end, like you can see the delay effect on it. So what I did, like I added delay, which gives you like descending effect. And what I did, like I added below this, I added a layer of an orchestral, I think it's an Spitfire Lab sample. So you can download it, it's freely available on Spitfire Lab. Download this is an amazing plugin. So there is an plugin in this, I use this tape orchestra string turn to crinkle. So using this I created an amazing like serious sounding strings below this, and it feels like very close, very feel like vibrant and cinematic. That's the scene. And with the whole sample, and after that, what I did, like I added when I thought, like even after creating everything, I thought something is missing, some textures are missing. So what I did, I used like ambient texture from Cymatics. It's really available. You can download it from Cymatics website. So I use this texture, fill the space, fill the whole spectrum, and it gives a different feel to the whole introductory part of the painting. That's the system. Bit you can see I added risers and for different layers, different changes. Like the beat should not be constant, like it should not be like same every time. So I added little elements every time, and before the drop, so make it rise, make it like feel like the sounds are going up and up and up, and then the drop comes. So you have to like don't be like just stiff or be like constant. Add different elements, think of different elements, feel like the whole beat is rising and then the drop is coming. If the beat is constant, it kind of feel like very abrupt, or it kind of feel like boring, as you can see. So what I did, like first I added this vocal sample which I created using Alter Ego. This is a great plugin. It is also freely available. So this what this plugin allows is that you can write whatever things you are writing here. You can just there is a patch of there are various vocal patches. So I have downloaded Bones Basic, and using this you can like play on the keys, and you can like mimic like the voice, like if a singer is singing, just by writing the words over it. So let me just show you. And using this, like for I created this vocal sample, and this vocal sample I use for the word oh, double OH. Yeah, just write it down on the Alter Ego and play it on the scale in which your sample is. So my scale, the sample of the scale is A minor. So this is how I created this vocal sample. So after creating this vocal sample, as you can see, the vocal sample is, it feels like everything is rising up, and then when the drop hits, it hits hard. So after that, I added this bass line, and it's a preset from Toxic Biohazard, and it's a stock plugin, and I just created this bass line over it. It's in the same scale, A minor. Just be focused, like in whatever sample you have, whatever the scale of the sample you have, just create everything around it, and whatever the sounds you are creating, it will sound very good. If you are not in the scale, and that will be a problem. So this is the bass line, and this bass line majorly follows the vocal sample, but it changes some notes in the some parts. After that, I added uh, this crash pattern using Spitfire Labs percussion patch. Just to give more texture to everything. So for the drop, what I did, like it's a very simple drop. Generally, major the beats have these types of drop, but the thing is, like in this drop, it feels more impactful as the other things, like the other instrument stops and the kick and the bass comes with the sample. So it feels very impactful. So you can see it's very simple to create this block, and let me show you how I did. Just listen to it, like the swell which is coming. It's swelling down. The 808 is swelling down. So how I created is, like if I place a note here, like this is an F sharp minor, and created another note over it. And what you did is deselect it and select here slide. So what will happen then? This note, the above note, it will start playing with the below note and it will slide end to the below note. As you can see, you can feel the bass note is swelling up to the A sharp. So to swell down, what you have to do, just put the slide note below the bass note. And as you can see, I just put the slide note below the bass note, and it will feel like swelling down. So like you can see, it is taking more time. So what you can do, you can shorten the length of the slide note, and it will come to the bass note more fast. After that, I created this 808 pattern over my drums. I used a cymatics kick, and in that I cut most major of the high end from it, so that it doesn't mix with the or interfere with the other higher frequencies, and added this plugin which is freely available on cymatic website. This plugin is called Diablo Light, and using this plugin I created a very hard hitting kicks. If I like play these kicks, you can feel the difference without this plugin and with this plugin. And when I ensure that this plugin is on, it will sound like this. And after creating this drum pattern, I created an 808 pattern over it. And let me just show you the 808 pattern with the drum pattern, how it feels. 808 pattern is it's very simple in this, like it's just following the main melody line. And what I did, like I created Moon Guitar, which is freely available. You can download this from Spitfire Labs, and I created an amazing sample for the burst, like you can say the burst part, the hook part for it. And when I play the whole 8 to 8 pattern and the hi-hats with this moon guitar, it sounds something like this. It's just all about this bounce of the beat, the bounce of the music. Like it's it's not something like very specific, like there are set of rules like you have to create like that. There is music theory that you create everything around the scale of the song or the scale of the sample in the same tempo. So you I created this sample, this melody of moon guitar. If I just play this part, as you can see, like separately it sounds very very like it doesn't sounds good. So when I play it with the sample, it sounds different, it sounds very melodic, and it gives a different texture to the sample. Everything is about filling the spaces of the whole spectrum. Like when you are creating music, when you are developing melodies, putting bassline and everything, just think in the way that the whole spectrum is filled in a certain way. Yeah, like it's very specific. Like if you are creating like genre specific, like if you are creating a jazz music, so there are not various things like there can be a piano, a bass, or drums. So it depends on the genre and it depends on the feel, like how you want the spectrum to be filled. Like if the music is more cinematic or things, then there should be varieties of things. It can be simple also, but it just depends on the vibe of the music you want to present to the audience. Below that, I use it the same guitar, giving a more melody texture, a different melody line, a counter melody to the sample. So by just as a melody line, counter melody is this. And when you play it with a sample, it sounds like this. And after that, when this counter after the introduction of the counter melody, I added vocal chops. These are the same vocal chops from the previous vocal sample which I used in the beginning, and using this I created the whole verse part. It sounds amazing. And as you can see, after this, like I have just do various things, because like you don't want your music to be just high constantly throughout the song, throughout the music. So there should be highs and lows. So to give a different texture or to give a different taste, like everyone cannot listen to the high bounce, high tempo, everything for a long time. So we have to bring a change. Also for that, what I did, I used the vocal sample, because the vocal sample was very giving a feel of a cinematic vibe. So to what I did, I lowered it down to the lower octaves, like I pitched it down very low. Let me just show you. It's the same vocal sample, just I pitched it down very low, and over it, what I did, I created this string pattern, which I use the same preset from like in the introduction, the same preset from the Spitfire Labs, and using that I created a melody over it just to feel a change from the previous version. So the same scale, let me just show you what I created. So this is the pattern. And when you play it with the vocal sample, it sounds like this. Create your beat patiently. Earlier I used to just create everything very fast, like I thought that everything should be finished very early, like in very maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. But now I started giving more time to the whatever you are creating. Create good stuff. Like try to give your full effort in whatever product you are creating, whatever music, whatever thing you are creating. Just try to give time. It's not necessary that that thing should be completed within a day or an hour, until unless you are not working for a client or so. Even for if you want to working for a singer or singer songwriter, you should ask them that they should give you ample time so that you can work patiently, because creative ideas just doesn't not come like very fast. Like you have to sit, you have to try to experiment things, you have to put various things, you will remove some things, and whatever the best you have created, then that thing will sound nice. Then you have to choose which is best. So work patiently, think like try to experiment, try to learn new things, and this way you can create beautiful things, beautiful music. So this is how I create this Chinese Guzheng beat. Here is how I created an amazing Chinese Guzheng beat, and you can use this sample from universitymedia.com. It's freely available and there are various other samples. Go check it out. You can download this pack, unique. It has melodies and drum loops. Go check it out. Go to the universitymedia.com and it is freely available.